We're out and we're off. Mae Hong Son Loop, day 1. Morning all, Sawadee Kap. Back in Thailand, back in Chiang Mai, back in my second home. And heading out, as I say, on the Mae Hong Son Loop. I'll say a little bit more about that later. Back from Japan, back in Thailand for a while. Thought it would be a good opportunity to do a little bit of touring. Chiang Mai is just recovering from its worst flooding in recorded history. I think that's the last 50 years. Where I live is slightly higher ground, so I was all right, although we lost our mains water for a few days. But down by the Ping River, the main river, scenes of devastation, I'm afraid. But already bouncing back, still open for tourism, and hopefully the roads are open for cycling. But that has yet to be determined. For now, we've got to get out of town and head south to Chom Thong. A little shortcut through this hotel, avoids a bit of traffic. Little dodgy bridge at the end. I thought this was temporary when they put it in a couple of years ago, but after a couple of years, I think it's permanent. Beautiful day. Yeah, it has been rainy and cloudy, still warm of course, but it's going to be a hot one, I think. Looks like blue skies all around, and we're heading into and over the mountains, Doi Inthanon to be precise, Thailand's biggest mountain. Another little shortcut through the university grounds along this lovely avenue of palm trees, which they've just repaved. That's good, and put some nasty ramps in. Less good. Bumped into a friend of mine, Ken. You want to be on film, Ken?
Sorry?
Say hello.
Oh, hi!
You can say, welcome to On Today's Ride.
Welcome to today's ride, Mae Hong Son Loop. I'm on my way.
He's a natural. Okay, it's just me. Oh, lights are flashing. Ain't gonna make it. Never jump a Thai light. I learned that lesson the hard way. We got about 50-60k to Chom Thong, and then up and over Inthanon, not right to the top, which you're not allowed to cycle anymore without a support vehicle. But a good 30-something k climb, so one big climb, and then big descent down into Mae Tem, where we'll be spending the night. But for now, it's pretty dull. Just head down, ride. It's not hot yet. Temperature is 27 degrees. It's nice out. Not too much traffic. Into Chom Thong, and then we'll do a right and hit Inthanon. If you remember from last year's video when I got involved in the Inthanon race. Don't think I'll be doing that this year, but you never know. Off the main highway onto the Doi Inthanon road 1009. We've been riding for 2 hours 15. We've done actually half the distance. We've done nearly 65k of a 130k ride. However, we haven't even touched the climbing, and the climbing is about a 35k 1600 meter climb, so it's a biggie up over Inthanon. And this will be the last real good shops for a while, so I'm going to stop, get a snack, get a drink, fill my water bottle, and then heading straight uphill. Sawadee-ka. Khao niao.
ข้าวเหนียวตรงนั้นค่ะแม่ไปซื้อข้าวเหนียว
Getting passed along the chain here. Sawadee-ka.
ห่อละ10 บาท
Khao niao mi mai? Mi.
10 บาท
10 baht. ไม่เอาถุงครับ
เอาไม่เอาถุงโอเค ขอบคุณค่ะ
ขอบคุณครับ
ทอนให้10 บาท
Yeah, probably the last real shops for quite some time now. So I stocked up. What I was buying then was khao niao, which is sticky rice. So a little bag of sticky rice, 10 baht, that's like 20p. Good solid fuel, not sugary crap that you get from 7-Eleven or so. I've got some of that as well. And I've got a little bottle of soy sauce I bring with me, and that just livens that up. So khao niao is good carbohydrate, salty energy, which is just what you need. Got a can of Coke, got a couple of snacks, another bottle of water, and that should see me through. I should be able to get over the top of Inthanon and then down the other side into Mae Cham. Quick recap of Mount Inthanon, Doi Inthanon, for those who don't remember or didn't see the video from last year when I did the Inthanon challenge. It's the highest mountain in Thailand, it's like 65k just south of Chiang Mai. It is fiendishly designed in that the first 33k is relatively easy going, so a few steep ramps but nothing crazy, and then when you hit the junction to turn into the last 7k of the climb, it's brutal. It's 20% plus in places, and at this point your legs are absolutely cooked, so it's a nice little climb. It's like the KOM in Taiwan, although that's twice as long. Goes to a maximum height, I think just shy of 2600 meters above sea level, and we start at about 200 and something. So yeah, so if you do the full climb, it's a big thing. However, since the last few years, you're not allowed to ride it, cycle it, without support vehicle that will drive you down. You're not allowed to descend it, not even on race day. So that's a bit of a shame. And I'm going to say it, Doi Inthanon is not one of the best climbs in Thailand. It might be the biggest and the highest, but there's some much better mountains to climb up in the north. And we'll be seeing a few of those on this ride, not quite as big, but I'll be out exploring other areas in northern Thailand in the coming weeks and months, and we'll see some absolutely stunning climbs. Doi Inthanon, I call it one of the longest and most boring climbs in the world. You don't even get a view till the very top. I've been coming back to Chiang Mai in Thailand at different times of the year this year, and it's nice because I get to see some of the plants and flowers and fruits that are in season at different times of the year. And here we've got teak trees. So there's a lot of teak trees in Thailand, often planted as roadside trees, and people may not realize they're teak, as in the hardwood that they use for furniture making. And now they're in flower and fruit. Okay, not quite as dramatic as the flamboyance, the bright red flame trees, but still very lovely. And yeah, you'll only see the teak trees in flower at this time of year. After a few K of slightly rolling preamble, we're into the first part of the climb now. First real ramp. From here to the turning for Mae Cham, 30 kilometers and 1600 meters of climbing. So average about 5%. Not too bad. Has got some steep ramps, has got some flatter, even downhill bits. First few K is rolling, so if you're racing, that's when if you can get into a group and go hard, you can do well. Today, no racing, just enjoying the sights, such as This what? Num Tok Me Klang. As I said, cyclists no longer allowed up unaccompanied, but I'm not going to the top, so it should be okay. I'll try my usual tactic of just blast through and smile, see how that goes. Not going to work. So why do you cap?
Where you going?
Mae Chem.
Mae Chem.
Mae Chem.
อ๋อแน่ไปMae Chem ปุ่น
Okay. Khop Kap. He knew the school and spoke good English. So yeah, if you're doing Mae Chem, no problem. What is the Mae Hong Son loop? Because I haven't actually introduced it yet. The Mae Hong Son loop is I think about 650k loop around Chiang Mai to the southwest, west, northwest. Particularly beloved of cyclists and motorcyclists and tourists, and takes you into Mae Hong Son province and through Mae Hong Son itself. That's a few days away for us. Probably completed in, well, for me it's going to be 5 days. So that's 120, 130 a day, but there's quite a lot of climbing. It's about 12,000 meters of climbing, so 2,500 meters per day for 5 days is quite good going. As ever, there is one crazy fool who did it in one day, in one ride. I'm getting too old for that shit. There's a few little options you can make to the route, alternatives. Well, you can go clockwise or anti-clockwise. I'm going clockwise. I like to finish in Pai, which is a nice little touristy town where I can eat and drink well. You don't have to do this climb over to Mae Chem from Inthanon. You can go first to a town called Hot, and it will be hot. But it's good to add this little climb in, well, big climb. You can approach this Inthanon from a slightly trickier direction, and you can finish with the mother of all climbs back from Pai through Wat Chan, which I've done and made a video about last year. Don't think I'll be doing that. I mean, you never know, but after 5 hard days riding through the mountains, I'll probably go for the easy, in inverted commas, 120k 2,000 meter climb ride back from Pai to Chiang Mai. Now, I have ridden the Mae Hong Son loop before. In fact, I rode it the very first time I came to Chiang Mai and Thailand. This was back in, I think, 2017. I have spoken before about how I tend to do very little planning on my trips, and this is a good example. One night I was sitting in a bar, the fantastic Sisters Bar on Bu Vien Street in Vietnam's second biggest city, Ho Chi Minh, Saigon. Started chatting to this guy, can't remember where he's from, and he said to me, I told him I was a cyclist, was going to Thailand. He said, well, if you're going to Thailand, go to the north, fly into Chiang Mai, ride the Mae Hong Son loop. And me, being me, I was just like, okay, let's give it a go. And it was fantastic. It was, however, at a slightly different time of year. I think it was sort of late December, early January. So it was a lot cooler. I had one very cold day, one very cold night. But there was also very little choice in terms of bike rental. And the one place I went had no more road bikes, only a sort of hybrid. I had no proper gear, so I just had a backpack, a hybrid. I bought some cheap cycling clothes from a cheapo knockoff cycling shop. And I think I just wore my sneakers, running shoes, trainers, whatever you call them. And yeah, it took me a little bit longer. I probably did 6 or 7 days. And I did do the hard way back from Wat Chan, little realising what I'd let myself in for. Not only was it a fantastic trip in itself, but it kind of changed my life because I discovered not only was Thailand a great place for cycling, but Chiang Mai, one of the best cycling hubs in Asia, and that there was this huge community of cyclists here, both local and expat. And basically I said to myself, right, I'm coming back next winter with a bicycle, and that's exactly what I did, and can have continued to do with a slight hiccup a few years ago with the pandemic. Little bit of a view. As I say, it's not the most picturesque big climb. There's a lot of work involved, a lot of climbing, very little reward, bit of a view on the final section that we won't be doing. But I think as we get over the shoulder and start to descend to Mae Cham, the views will open up. It can be cold and wet and foggy at the top. I'm hoping we'll be alright today, especially as we're not doing the final bit. I'm not really prepared, I haven't got a raincoat, I haven't got any warm clothes. But I think we'll get away with it. We're only going up to about 1800 meters, so it might be a slightly chilly descent, but I suspect we'll be fine. Famous last words. We're about halfway up now. Yeah, exactly 15k into that 30k climb. Still 900 meters to climb. Yeah, new road. Never been up there. Let's go and explore that sometime. Yeah, probably another hour and a bit to the top. There's one more kind of sustained steep bit, but it's absolutely fine. Temperature's dropping off, a little bit clouded over. We're nearly 1,000 meters altitude, so it's a very bearable 31 degrees, but that will drop as we keep going. Feeling okay. I've got one bottle of water left. As I get to the top of this climb, there's like a little restaurant area, so I could even buy proper food, but I've still got sticky rice, still got a packet of biscuits. I'll just stock up on water and cold drinks, but yeah, another hour or so till then. Keep on climbing. Still a little bit climbing to go, but I forgot that at this junction here there is a little shop, so I've stopped for a sponsor in Thai accent, which is a sort of energy drink, which means it's got sugar and salted, and a bottle of water to top up. So I'm probably good now. I've got food, I've got water, I can probably just press on. So a few more K to the top and then all the way down. .8 degrees, it's cooling down. Flaked out labourers having a bit of a break. Don't blame them, I could probably do the same right now. 2k to go. So we've branched off from the Inthanon road. If we've continued to the right, that would have taken us to the top of Inthanon. Bearing in mind, we climbed 1600 meters in the first 33k. That last 7k, another 1,000 meters of climbing. Absolutely brutal. As it is, 21k to Mae Cham, and it's all downhill, pretty much. And now, let the descending commence. Finally a bit of a view, come out of the jungle, on this little hairpin. Ooh, that's where we're headed. Down and round, almost back to the altitude we started at. Mae Chem's a little bit higher, 100 meters or so. Right, I'm going to eat some sticky rice, have a drink, and then continue on descending. Well, that's the first evidence of any landslide activity I've seen today. It's been cleared enough to make a path for the cars. Some big rocks in there. Bit more landslide evidence, but they're very efficient, the Thais, at cleaning these things up. Same in Vietnam as well. North of Vietnam just got hit by Typhoon Yagi, and big roads were closed up there, massive landslides. Within a day or two, they're all open. Don't mess around. Mae Chem, we've arrived into Mae Chem village. I'm going to try and find the place I stayed at many years ago. Fortunately, I have Strava to help me find it. I think it's somewhere down here, down by the river. Nice little place, cheap, simple. Quiet little neighbourhood. Traditional wooden houses, which you see a lot in the countryside. They don't need to worry about central heating. Lovely Bodhi trees outside the temple, of course. River still running strong, but nothing like it was last week, I guess. Okay, I think we're about 1 minute away from here. Okay, I remember this now. Yeah, it was a lovely little place. This is it. Quan La Homestay. Nice garden. Let's see if they've got any rooms. Okay, it's a cool little place. We got dogs. Hey guys. We got a little kitchen we can use. I bought some snacks. We got cats. Yeah. Ginger one's sleeping. And then I'm taking a risk. I took a bed in the dormitory, which is very cheap, because I don't think anyone else will come. So I've got this bed. I don't think anyone else will come. It's rainy season, there's flooding, it's not tourist season, so I think we'll luck out with that one. Yeah, and then have a little rest, eat some snacks, and then at some point we'll head into town and get some dinner. Oh. Friendly.